This is a special edition of Late Night Health coming to you from Supply Side West in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I am with one of my favorite people, and that is Amy Summers from Pitch Publicity and Invincibox. What you said. And we're going to talk about your mentorship program and the fact that, congratulations, you've been in business for 20 years.
I know.
Can you believe it?
I can't. It's hard to believe.
When you first told your parents, I'm moving from Florida to New York to open a PR firm, what was their initial reaction other than, what the hell is PR?
Well, it didn't exactly happen in that sequence. So I actually have been in New York now for 10 years. So half the time Pitch has been technically in New York and half the time it was in Florida. So I actually started my business in Florida when I was still in my 20s. So
Wow.
I guess I shocked my parents in stages. So first I told them I was getting a degree in PR and they didn't know what that was. And they were worried that I was going to make any money. And then I told them I was going to start my own business. And then later I said I was going to move to New York. Probably the biggest shocker was moving to New York. I don't think that they wanted me to do that because they didn't think they were going to see me a lot. But if you follow me on social, then you know that my mom is with me all the time now.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, we spent a day with Amy and Mary in Hollywood. We had such a good time.
That was her favorite part of the trip.
Oh, was it?
So I
Yeah.
took my mom to MBJ Summit, and she was my plus one, and we did a 20th celebration there for
did,
Pitch.
yes.
And then we went to Santa Cruz, and we did all this fun stuff in California. And so when I asked my mom, what was your favorite part of the trip? She goes, riding around with Mark and his wife looking at the Hollywood sign. That was her favorite sign.
And we couldn't quite get to the Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
One of the things that you do that I think is unique is in the PR and the media business is that you mentor people. I've been trying to get Amy to mentor me, and I'm still working on it. Most of your people are from Florida, University of Florida.
We do have a student from Penn State.
Yes, you do.
And she is actually, I put her in charge of putting together our 20th anniversary party in New York City that you're coming to.
Oh, yes, I can't wait.
So Nicole, so we do have that coming up. So I've branched out a little bit, but initially a lot of my students were coming from the University of Florida because I'm an alumnus from the University of Florida, and I had a good pipeline there with professors and the deans, and it was, it made sense for me to get a lot of the students there. And then when I started this internship program, which I started it over a decade ago, like 13 years ago, it was a remote internship. So even when I was in New York, they were able to do this remotely. So really, I can work with any students from anywhere in the country. And I'm working on developing more relationships with other colleges. I think it's really, you have to really work on that when you put together an internship program. It's not easy to just post and say, I have an opening. These students really rely on their professors to guide them to the right places. So on an employer's side of it, you really have to develop relationships with the universities.
And I've worked with Amy longer than 20 years because she was with other PR firms and she was pitching me then. So we go back a long time. And you train your mentees differently, okay? In that I get phone calls, I get texts and emails a lot. That one of my biggest complaints, and I've said this to you before, is that I'll get an email and say, hey, you want to interview so-and-so, so-and-so? And I go, yeah, that sounds great. And then I'll send them an email, call me, never hear from them again. If I was that PR client, I'd dump the agency overnight. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, a lot's changed in how we communicate with people.
Yes.
From when I started early on in my career, 20 plus years ago, pitching you, I remember the phone was the main way we pitched, and journalists, they picked the phone up. They still do sometimes, but it's a lot harder to reach people by phone. Also, when we were starting to work, when I was pitching you in the early days of my career, we were still using fax machines.
Yeah.
I would have producers tell me, just fax it to us. And when I tell, some of our interns that now, they laugh because they don't even know what a fax machine is. But I think as technology has changed, we have to kind of adapt to how people are receiving their information. And I think what you're experiencing, maybe with some other professionals in the field, is that they have to learn how to adapt to different forms of way of communicating. Responsiveness, there's really no excuse for that. You have to be responsive, but you have to really gauge how the person wants to interact with you professionally. Is that by text, by phone, email? What is the best way? And then really customize your approach. But actually, at our event in New York City, we're going to be looking at how technology has changed as it relates to communications in the past 20 years. So from 2003, when Pitch started, to 2023, that is our theme. So we're looking at communications technology. So I think you're going to have a lot of fun seeing what we have planned.
I love that. But at the same time, to me, this is a relationship business. Sometimes, if I'm interviewing a doctor, okay, and I'll get a call 3 hours before showtime, and they'll say the doctor's in surgery. Well, I understand that, but now I need a guest. So it's hard when people don't respond. So it's really important. And as a consumer, if you're watching this as a consumer, know that public relations really helps drive news. Every news, every celebrity, every politician, every author has somebody doing media relations or public relations. Somebody like Amy. All right, 20 years from now,
Yes.
are you going to be retired on the beach in Maui? Where?
This is a question I keep asking myself because I'm a planner, so I really do think about my future a lot. And, because I am my only person and I am taking care of myself, I don't have any backup plans. And this is my company. I really have to be thinking about what is the future. And I've decided that I really don't see myself retiring. I actually love what I do. I love the craft and I like to work. I think that my work will evolve as time marches on.
It has
I may
to.
not have the same amount of energy level, but I really believe that we were all designed as human beings to do good work, on this planet
Mm-hmm.
until our dying days. I think we were all designed that way. I really, when I go on vacation now, which I never actually have really been able to disconnect on a vacation since I started my company, because you always have to be on call at a certain level.
I didn't get any. You were in Montreal with your mom.
Yes.
I didn't get any emergencies,
Well,
but others may have.
Well, that's because I blocked my calendar and none of my clients had interviews that week. I've learned how to do this now. But, even when I am on vacation, I can disconnect a little bit. I start to get a little uncomfortable. Like, I want to be doing work. I want to be doing something that I'm passionate about. And I'm lucky that I work for myself, because that means that I am doing exactly what I want to do. And I see myself always doing some level of work. And it's part of the reason why I started an EC box too, because that's going to be part of my next stage as we expand out to the masses.
All right, you've known me forever, okay? Probably one of the longest people around. Have I lost any energy in these 20 years?
I don't think so.
I was just wondering.
You're somebody too that I think really likes and enjoys what he does for a living, and it shows in all your interviews, and people are just drawn to you. And I've watched you and your career over the years, and you really enjoy that. And I think it's important to find something that you love to do, and I don't think that you have to stop doing it. I think that even if you have to retire from your company, that you can still tap into your passions and, help others. So
my passion has always been talking, because I learned so much from people like you and your clients. We talked to Karen Howard earlier, and others, Ken Red Cross, and I mean the list. Your list goes on and on and on, and I learned so much, and I think that's what's keeping me young. I look forward to New York. One little secret from New York.
Well, you're coming. That's cat's out of the bag
I am.
now. I mean, you're coming all the way from LA to New York City, so we're so honored about that. We do have a little surprise in store. I'm really excited that the 5 of us will be joining us. And if you don't know who the 5 of us are, do follow their podcasts. But these are 5 amazing, incredible powerhouse women that all worked at New York One News. And they left there, and I'm going to let that be the hanger. You're going to find out why they left. I think you're going to like the story of why they left their jobs. And they're going to come speak to us about what they've seen just in broadcasts, the changes in 20 years, and talk to us a little bit about careers and passion and keeping that fire going.
Well, she didn't ask me for over 50 years. Anyway, listen, Amy, thank you very much. I can't wait to see you in New York. If you want information about Amy, we have 2 different websites for you up here. One is to learn about pitch, and one is to learn about mentorship and other things that Invincibox is doing.
Yes. So in Invincibox, we're going to really be helping people get more mentorship. So we already are offering a lot of free sessions that you can come join us for Skillshare sessions. We have one coming up on November 16th. And so if you go to invincibox.com and you say, I want to sign up for a mentor Skillshare session, you can come to our November 16th one. And we're trying to offer a lot more of that virtually. So it's virtual mentorship.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. Well, Amy is it. I'm Mark Alyn. This is Late Night Health.